It just goes from bad to worse for Celtic Football Club. Brendan Rodgers is apparently set to walk. But before we get into it, there's some people on this channel that would rather us talk about news stories for the 90s, for the 80s, because the current stuff is negative towards Celtic, and they would rather us bring stuff up with Rangers for the 80s and 90s. I mean, how embarrassing is that, right? See, for the whole run that we've been on YouTube with Fog Football, it's a lot of years, and I've been playing this game a long time. It's been very negative for Rangers Football Club in terms of results, you know what I mean? And I've stuck by it through thick and thin. And as soon as it begins to turn against Celtic, and there's a wee few negative headlines in here, people are spitting the dummies. And to actually pluck a date for the early 90s and try and get us to talk about something that happened there, instead of talking about incidents that have taken place over the last couple of days, whether it was Maida, whether it was transfer business, whether it was Bobo Baldi, right? The fact of the matter is this, that is the recent news that's hitting home. I mean, there's people commenting on our channel telling us to talk about stuff that happened in 1992, stuff that happened in the 80s. It's utterly embarrassing, that. Utterly embarrassing. But let's get into Brendan Rodgers, alright? Let's go into Brendan Rodgers, and here, this ain't 1992, this is 2025, and this is the 6th of September. Now this did break last night, to be honest it was late last night, but the Scottish Sun, I'm not a fan of the Sun, but, you know, they broke a wee bit of news here about Rodgers, and I think it happened the last time. When shit hits the fan at Celtic, the Sun tend to get a lot of leakage. Now, Sun Sport understands senior figures at the club are concerned he's trying to engineer his exit. Rodgers' remarks on Celt's work in the transfer window have not gone down well with the Hoops hierarchy. Earlier in the window, he urged the club to show ambition in the transfer market. He also said there needed to be major inquest after the Champions League exit to Kara Almaty. Rodgers was left without a replacement striker for Adamida after he left to join Swansea on deadline day before a last-minute raid on the free agent saw Kelechi Iheanacho brought in. Now some insiders believe it's reached a critical point and the gaffer could go for the end of his 3-year deal. One source told the Sun Sport, and I quote, "Senior figures inside the club believe Rodgers is engineering his exit. What he said in public has torn the club apart. On and off the record, discussions are creating division through the club. He's the only manager in the club's history who's repeatedly questioned things. It's been the same board, the same management, the same strategy. The club have spent tens of millions. When Rodgers came back, he agreed to the club's strategy. There are now people inside the club who are deeply unhappy with his words. To make matters worse, these issues appear to be seeping into the performance of the team. It's like Groundhog Day again." End of quote. Yeah, I think Brendan Rodgers is he's more than free to talk about Celtic's issues and the lack of transfers. You know, the fact that they're contradicting things that he's saying, like, oh, we won't be getting rid of Adamida if we don't have a replacement in. Now here, maybe the Celtic board would try and spin, well, yeah, we let Ida go because we knew we were bringing Iheanacho in on a free. No, Iheanacho was a panic buy. Nothing more, nothing less. And I don't think that's acceptable anyway. But the fact of the matter is this, boards don't like it. This isn't a Celtic thing, this is a football thing. Boards do not like it when managers, head coaches, whatever, come out and call them out. So, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm surprised that the Celtic board aren't happy with Rodgers' comments. I'm not. I mean, there is also talk about a major, in-depth look at the Kara Amati result. I mean, Rodgers, mate, maybe you should just look in the fucking mirror for that. See the transfer. I think you've got to separate it. Yeah, you bring players in, right? Maybe if Taniki and Balakisha, etc. were in for Kara Almaty, you'd be through. But they're pish, right? There is zero excuses to not beat them. So to me, not getting into the Champions League, you can't just say 100% the board's fault. But since then, and deadline day, which was fucking horrific, most people would argue that, Rodgers is more than right to call them out on it. Now, in terms of net profit, Celtic are actually up 13.6 million, total 13.1 million in and 26.7 million out. Is Rodgers going to walk? I mean, it kind of just feels like it kind of just feels like the COVID season over again. Apart from Rangers are pish. But what I would say is, what is going to happen with Rodgers if he walks? I mean, the Celtic board, they're going to want a yes man. And I'm looking up and down, right? Who is going to take the Celtic job? Are they going to give it to O'Brien? Is Neil Lennon going to come back for the third time? Is Sean Maloney going to get in there with his wee laptop next to Big Kennedy? I don't really know what's next, but yeah, leave your thoughts down below. That article coming out for the Sun, I mean, it could be bullshit, but they tend to get these leaks right. So we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, folks, aye, nice wee toasty Saturday here. All is not well for Celtic, and I'm enjoying it. But the fact of the matter is this: my team's still 6 points behind without a win. So how much can I enjoy it? Leave your thoughts down below.